Sometimes your life feels like a broken roller coaster, 1,000 useless moving parts. Sometimes you spend your nights too scared of getting closer, hiding out in the backseat of your car. You tell yourself it's raining, the clouds are in your head. You tell yourself it's better to jump before you fall again, before you lose it all again. Look up, do you see the sunlight? Look up, there's flowers in your hair. Look up, 'cause somebody loves you. You know trouble's always gonna be there. Don't let it bring you to your knees. Look up. Mondays aren't always bright. Sometimes you lose the fight. Life can be beautiful if you let it be. Tomorrow keeps taunting you with all kinds of mystery. It's a blank page for your poetry if you let it be. So don't tell yourself it's raining. The clouds are in your head. You tell yourself it's better to jump before you fall again, before you lose it all again. Look up. Now, I could hum. I wanted to strum the guitar, but a string broke, and I need to get new strings. It was apropos that when I went to string my guitar and just play some old guitar tunes, to tune my guitar, that since I haven't played it in a few years, a string popped. And now it's stuck in the case of my guitar. But today is Joy Oladokun's birthday. And she is heaven on earth. True beauty in the form of a singer-songwriter, a folk musician with rich, layered, textured glory, not only to what she's offering as a musician, but her energy on the planet. And this is an old song of hers at this point, but it's one of the first ones I heard that really caught my attention and made me think, I'm gonna listen to everything she ever writes. And I love that. To me, she seems like the definition of traumagic. If you read her story, if you hear her lyrics of her songs, you feel it. And there are so many newer songs of hers that I could recommend, but that's not what this post is about today. Today's post is about traumagic and what it is to be a winsome warrior. Now, my friend Von Erich, who's redesigning my Hannah and Mel website, or whatever we decide to call it eventually, he said something about like copywriting or like doing something with the word traumagic. Now, I love that, but there's a good chance other people have come up with it. I made a hashtag or a tag on Substack a while ago, and I hope people take it and run with it, because there's nothing like taking a word that feels and making it into And as my beautiful, strange little purple fabric creature that I created years ago in a workshop with The Artful Life out of Salem/Wenham, Massachusetts, as this little owl reminds me when I look at it on my music stand, it's cool to be weird. I always thought I was such a freak growing up, but the older I got, the more I embraced the nerdy weirdness of who I am, the more I liked that I could be Wilbur the pig in the musical version of Charlotte's Web as an 11-year-old kid. How much I liked getting to act romantic, but then also act stern or dismissive. For me, the energy of performing has always been joyful. And even if I can't strum or sing through the entire song exactly as Joy does it, that's something I'd like to do like a beautiful cover of her original song. But I've been writing a lot of my own songs, and I've done a lot of more mature things as I've gotten older. So I recently changed my YouTube channel to be not made for kids, because so much of the content is about psychology and like trauma, and like a lot of that content of things that I follow comes out of my career as a therapist. Now, I'm not a therapist anymore. I actually feel like, at least in Massachusetts, we kind of have a glut of therapists in practice. I will do group work and use certain techniques like soul collage and Zumba, and I'll always have a therapeutic presence because people feel that I'm a trustworthy person to confide things in. But there are elements of the National Association of Social Workers Code of Ethics that I think need to be changed. And there are ways in which being a clinical social worker doesn't really align with the work that I want to do going forward. I have a very firm social justice systems lens, and I have been a member of many different clubs and followed many different ethical codes over my lifetime. And when it comes right down to it, I have to go with my own integrity. And when I look at a system of licensure that depends on a lot of money, and also taking a test that people of minority status and or just people who don't test well often can't pass and end up needing to pay more and more money to take while they could be doing good work, I just can't align with that from my perspective as a human who grew up in Hawaii and has just been really good friends with people who struggle with test taking and known that they are smarter and more competent than the average person at whatever they do. Now, what does that mean? Smarter and more competent? I don't even know what I mean by that at this point, because I think everyone has a genius for something. And I love the idea that I have always been a spiritual warrior. I got trained in that by growing up in Christian evangelicalism. But Christian evangelicalism sometimes does a lot of harm, as a lot of people are aware. And there is a difference between having a sense of there is good news in the world, that is optimism, hopefulness, and being so evangelical that you think everyone in the world should be believing and doing what you do. Now, I'm someone who can present with a lot of confidence and with strong opinions. And in the space of moving forward as a career move until my licensure, my clinical licensure as a social worker ends at the end of 2026 on my birthday, I am not going to be doing anything more than maybe teaching in the social work field per se. And I am grateful to have access to things like Zoom to occasionally do some soul collage. But licensure and ethics are both important and a little bit peripheral to my Substack channel, because I started it from this place of wanting to be embodied and fully express my creative energy in a way that felt resonant. And the more I babble about ethics and licenses, the more I remember that what I really wanted to talk about was poetry. Now, Joy Oladokun, I'm going to sing the very end now because singing brings me back into myself. Sometimes your life feels like a broken roller coaster, 1,000 useless moving parts. Look up, do you see the sunlight? Look up, put flowers in your hair. Look up, 'cause somebody loves you. You know trouble's always gonna be there. Don't let it bring you to your knees. Look up. Now, I do have fake flowers around here that I could put in my hair. And just on Saturday, I got to spend time at a Boston Cyclist Union event where I met a young woman named Talia and her friend Prince. I'm going to put their Instagram handles in my notes here. The two of them were like living poetry, and there were many other people around them. Elders and youngers, people who care about movement and the community. People who want food to be safe and healthy and good. There was, I don't even want to get into the details of who all was there, because I was floored by the energy of love, peace, and kindness that was all over the place. Now, I'm going to be in touch and send this post to a number of the people who were there, because I collected email addresses, but I know all of them are at different levels of busyness and I don't want to overwhelm any of them with too many people inquiring of them about different things. No. What matters is that I DM'd with these two young people who caught my heart, my teacher's heart, with their love, their enthusiasm, and an event for roller skating that's coming up in Boston on the 30th. So I'm going to put info about that event at the bottom of this post, because I try to keep my Substack timely, but also the event is part of, I believe, a club out of Northeastern. So when I messaged Talia, she asked me to make sure I included that information. So all of the things that specifically people asked me to put in my Substack will be there. And I do hope to meet up with Prince and Talia to do a conversation about what it means to be part of their generation. Because I don't have a problem or have any fear about the young generation coming up. When I listen to a musician like Joy Oladokun, who to me is like the next Tracy Chapman, I mean, she's just the Joy Oladokun. But when I look at Talia and Prince, they are whatever they want to be, probably 20 things before their lifespan ends. And I have immense hope for the future. I always have and I always will, partly because I'm a teacher. I see the people who are singing, dancing, roller skating, rollerblading, riding a skateboard. That's not what they call it. Boarding? I don't know. Like the amazing Lupe Fiasco. Like the people who are moving and shaking like they love, like they care, like they mean it. Like Jose and Michelle, the owners of my gym, and their incredible family and chosen family around them. The people who dare to start new things, to create beautiful events, to move their bodies, to be out in the sun. These are my people, and I found them in new spaces, closer to the heart of Boston, and I'm grateful. And I had a really hard Holy Weekend. I did a lot of crying about things that have to pass and what might come next. Not fear for the future, no, sorrow for what I've had to leave behind. But I think that's actually healthy for Holy Weekend. It's Easter Monday, and all things are made new. It's even sunny in Boston. That feels pretty darn good. All right, 2 earrings that we'll probably give away because they're too long for us, but briefly posed as flowers. And to being a winsome warrior, in whatever way that looks for you. There are always going to be reasons to be scared for the future of the planet and for our own well-being and for our own mental health. But some of us will choose at every step along the way hope.